Hello, hello. Hi. Welcome. I'm Paola Hispanic. Welcome to the Catholic Homeschool community. Let's see. Today we're going to be hello, everybody. Just when you join us, just go ahead. Tell me where you're from. I'm really looking forward to today's chat here. I know that it's for some families you've already started homeschooling. For others you're still in overwhelm, and so yesterday we had such a great conversation. Today I thought, yeah, let's get together and let's continue this conversation. So I'd love for you to be able to just say hello. Please do pop into the chat. If you're on the phone, or if you're, and in fact, I brought my phone this time to see if indeed I can actually get in here as well and be able to see. Yeah, there I am. I wonder if how that's going to work. No, I'm already live streaming somewhere else, so it's not going to let me do that. Oh, well. All right. I thought maybe then this way, when I do my presentation, I'd be able to see the chat, but we'll have to figure that out some other time. Anyway, I am so happy to have you here tonight with me. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to just try to do a compact little teaching. And I wanted to just say this is a typical thing that we do in the Thrive support group is I do a little teachable moment, and then I open up the doors to a Q&A session. I will say this is all about the importance of connecting and using all the resources that are in this community, and the ability to understand that what we're doing is huge and beautiful and wonderful. And as such, God has called you, put that tug on your heartstrings, and he didn't do so in such a way to frustrate you. He did it in a way to actually enlarge in your life. So I want, without further ado, okay, Maria says she doesn't have her video. Yeah, this is a live stream, and a live stream within the community means you just get to look at me and I don't get to see your beautiful shiny faces. We usually do that with a Zoom, but what we will do is we have the chat. And so I want you to be able to go ahead, open up the chat, be able to say hello to each other. I can even type in here, say hello, and where are you from? And then also you can ask me questions in the chat as well. So it's kind of a little different way. There's also emojis down there that you can pop in there as well. But predominantly, this is just a really easy way to get in. I guess it's kind of something you can kind of think about, like, in the Facebook days. You used to be able to go into your private group and do a Facebook Live. Well, this is the same thing. And in a little while, they're going to be updating this so that I can actually bring you guys up on the screen as well. So welcome, welcome. I see people are still coming in. I'm giving you a little bit of time here. KC, hello, Marie, and we've just got Miriam. Is it Miriam? And Jen, Julianne, thank you so much for coming tonight. I'm really, really excited to talk about this subject because this is something very near and dear and close to my heart. And I'm just excited to share with you today. So I'm going to, without further ado, we're going to try this once again. And I am going to turn on my share the screen, see if this works. And I won't be able to see the chat, but I will go on and off screen. You'll see me doing that. Can everybody hear me tonight? I think I had a little trouble with my mic before, but just give me a thumbs up emoji, which lets me know that, yes, everybody can hear me. Great. Oh, my goodness. You're from Australia. Thank you. Oh, wow. Wow. So I think it's actually where I'm talking to the future in Australia because it's tomorrow. Yay. So I believe for you, the Feast of Saint Augustine. I know St. Monica is on Saturday, and she's again one of those saints that walks with me on the path as I pray for my children. So great, Maria, you again, Wyoming. Yes, good. So very, very good. So let me share my screen. Let's see how this works. Okay, great. We're going to go to the window for that. Here we go. Share. Ta-da! Wonderful. So this is all about connecting and supporting. And this is another one of what I call the Let's Homeschool new series that I've put together. And without, like everything else that I love to do, let's begin in prayer. So let us begin in the name of the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. St. Teresa bookmark prayer. This is my favorite prayer. Keep it by my bedside, one that I refer to often, and so happy to have you join me in prayer as we say this prayer together. Let nothing disturb you, nothing frighten you. All things are passing. God never changes. Patience obtains all things. Nothing is wanting to him who possesses God. God alone suffices. So, what does a successful homeschool look like? Anybody here? You can put in the chat. Do we all have successful homeschools? You know, I homeschooled for those of you who are new to me. I've homeschooled for 25 years, my 7 children, and I would say it's a successful homeschool. It was. I was able to launch all 7 children. They are now, 3 of them are married, and I have 6 grandchildren and growing. It was an incredible experience for me to actually tailor curriculum to them, to their needs, to their interests. And you'll always hear lots of stories, and I'll share a few more in a minute. But I wanted to say these questions that I'm about to read to you are real people, real questions. When I asked people, I said, you know, if we sat down for a cup of coffee and you wanted to speak to me, a veteran homeschooler, what would you ask? Helen asked me, you know, how can I be more present more with my kids? So often I'm concerned over the past or worried about the future. Julia asked me, how do I balance my regular duties running the home with educating our kids? In addition to finding time to pray, re-energize myself so I can persevere. And Sandy asks, what to do when you feel, well, that what you're doing is not enough? I bet anything that many of these questions are questions you have asked yourself as well. And you see, the problem lies in the fact that nobody has ever been able to actually show you just how to unleash the beautiful innate ability you have within yourself, because you are more than capable. And I'm not just saying that, you know, just to rah make you feel better. I'm saying that because I've truly seen it in hundreds of families that I've had the privilege to coach, the privilege of knowing these people who have walked on the path with me. And we have a beautiful saint who has told us also that you are qualified. You see, parents are the first and most important educators of their own children. And they also possess a fundamental competence in this area. They are educators because they are parents. I would go so far as to say that for many of us, homeschooling is probably our first experience in thinking about education in a different way. You know, many of us come from a brick and mortar, regular traditional school environment. There are now second generation homeschoolers, but for the most part, even in really good homeschooling programs, they constantly want you to think that you're not capable because they dictate what the curriculum is, and they are the ones that have set the standard. And it is part of our educational process to makes us feel like we are not capable, but you are. You know what? As a parent, you are an educator, and you know your children better than anybody else. The best education that you can provide for your children begins with you. You're much more in control of your child's education than you think you are. And you know what? Not to be like popular culture, but you know, that is quite empowering. It's empowering because as beautiful, faithful Catholics, we are open to prayer. We are open to God's will for us. We are confirmed in the faith, and the Holy Spirit imbues us with beautiful gifts. And part of those gifts are knowledge and wisdom. and this ability to discern things for our children. And please, this is again one of these things I really, really want to share with you. Never, ever take that for granted. And I know that the world will try to tell it to you differently, and as well as the fact that we've kind of been ingrained that way. We have been brought up that way, that we have to go to experts for things. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean you have to know every subject and every nuance. And the reason is because community, because putting yourself in connection with other people that are going through the same thing or have gone through it or are a few steps ahead. Yeah, the right kind of community helps. Again, real person. Nicole said, from being in the community, she says, I love the encouragement, the sharing of ideas. And I just love what Nicole says here. The real life stories of what worked and what didn't work for families on their homeschool journey. It helps dispel the darkness that creeps into our minds about what we should and what we shouldn't be doing in our homeschool and whether we're even capable of doing it. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and insights. Yeah, this is the heart of it. Community, connecting, because together we are better. Melissa, another member of the community, has said, this is a thriving online community of Catholic homeschooling parents where I can bring questions and where I can learn. And Mary says, thank you, Mary, for saying, thank you for helping me set my feet firmly on the ground. Well, at least long enough to pick and plant good seeds for our wonderful homeschooling adventure. And this is my hope for you as well. You know, in the beginning, when I was homeschooling, okay, I chose a picture of a lady on a phone because in those days we did not have Facebook. Thank you, God. For the first 10 years, I did not have any social media to distract me, but I did have the phone. And I did pick up the phone to my beautiful soul sisters in Christ who were my mentors. They sustained me in the day-to-day. They guided me each step of the way. They prayed with me. Sometimes I'd call and say, can you pray the next 9 minutes as a novena for me to just remind me why I'm doing this crazy homeschooling thing? Or if I was ever stuck or I was doing something that was frustrating me or confusing me or feeling overwhelmed, I had somebody to go to, a place to tap into. You see, very often these were women, for the most part, women who were just a little further down on that same pilgrim path as me. We were bonded by being Easter people. Yes, we're Eucharistic. We believe in that unity of faith, the fullness of faith. And through that, the grace of yes to our marriage, the grace of yes to the openness of our children. And we had a shared vision, a shared mission. And that shared vision and mission is to bring these beautiful souls to the beatific vision so that we may serve the world, serve God in this world, but want to be with him forever in eternity. And so I am happy and honored to pay it forward to you. Don't you love this picture? I love this. I wanted to share. I find some of these great images because images sometimes tell a beautiful story. And here's this young man who's sitting in a huge book, but books open up the world. They open up the world to thoughts and ideas and wonder and discovery. Our faith does the same. The ability to find silence, to hush the noise of the world, all of that is all part of this ability to be together in community. So let's just imagine for a minute, okay? Imagine actually waking up in the morning and not dreading the day, actually looking forward. Can you imagine such a thing? Forward to another adventure to experience with your children. It's a place where you too can learn and grow from your children. You will see your children's confidence. I love this. I love the fact that when my children were really engrossed in what they were doing, they loved to tell their grandparents, our neighbors, about the things they were learning, enjoying, exploring, and doing. you too will, just like I have had the honor now to be a grandmother, you'll experience your child's servant heart as they themselves grow up, launch into the world, they become parents, and they too want to pass on wonder, joy, discovery, and pass that on to their children. So I have a little story. This is, I call it my little struggle story, right? So when I started to homeschool, I had no idea what it should look like. What is a successful education? Didn't even ask myself that. I just immediately went to the default position, which was, okay, I got to recreate school in the home. I've got to make sure that I've ordered all the books that cover all the subjects. I even went to the cute little school supply store and I made bulletin boards and posters. I got my little antique school desks, and we had this tiny little house, and I still managed to carve out a hallway that became our schoolroom, and we did school. Except I never really looked at the uniqueness of my children and what they really needed for those moments. Instead, we were working through all these beautiful, cute little workbooks and things that were planned out for us, and they never retained that. And we never even got around to the time for the things we were imagining that we thought, well, we're going to do this homeschool thing. And we never got to those things. Let me share this story from Annie. She is someone that I think many of you families who have decided it. And I do this because there's still families that are not deciding to, are kind of on the fence with homeschooling. Annie told me that I have a 6-year-old who has tons and tons of energy. We all know that, don't we? Little toddlers or little kids full of energy. It's hard for him to be seated all day in school. Right now, he's in elementary school, and it was hard in kindergarten, even in his nursery. He likes music, sports, bugs. He's super creative, yet the traditional school system, society, wants to label him something just because he doesn't want to be quiet in the classroom. Just this month, he was assigned with a science project where he had to research an animal, and he was so very excited about it. He misspelled words. He wrote very little, but you could tell he enjoyed the research. When he came back home from school, I asked how it went, and he said the teacher only pointed out that he hadn't even written the name of the animal right. It broke my heart. Doesn't that just break your heart? Sending you all my love and support, Paola. I just want to say we, the world, really, really, really needs a special support group. And that is why I'm talking connecting community. So isn't this a cute picture of my girls? Yep. Those first years, I never looked at the unique needs of my family. I thought if I was compliant and I followed what do you do in kindergarten, first and third grade, right? I would be confident. Never. It was never about the curriculum. As my kids grow, and you see in this picture, they're just, delighting in being with each other. And my daughter, Anne, who is now got her master's in history. Okay, here she is, dressed up as a Quaker as she did a summer internship at one of our local museums. She went and got her master's. She's now working as a lead interpreter at the William Penn Museum. They're taking, family. She just designed a family tour. So her love of history was something that I finally, let go of that stuff, the confidence. And this is what I want to pass on to you. The confidence comes when we shake off that old model of school and we definitely connect with other families so we're not alone. The thing that really made me confident, assured in my role as parent and educator, was walking with others on the homeschool journey. So, time for you. Maybe you guys can pop it in the chat, please. What is your plan? What's your plan? Is it perhaps you've tried some things? Maybe you belong to some Facebook groups. We purposely started this community off Facebook because I found it to be nothing but a distraction for many people, as well as many other problematic things. Maybe it's paid coaching you're invested in, or you're using advisors in a box curriculum that you've decided to use. Maybe it's a local group. There are local groups, and in our Catholic homeschool community, there is a directory to find those local groups. But I'd like to ask you, Are you happy with that level of support? And are you still in overwhelm? Do you have a plan for the long-term, consistent help that you need on this journey? You know, what I'm going to ask you to do is to be there in the community with us. You know, when you show up as much as you possibly can and you participate with the questions, you ask questions and experiences, yes, you will see incredible growth. You will see incredible focus, clarity, confidence that will come because you see, we are the average of the 5 people we spend time with. We are social beings. We do that on purpose, even for our own homeschooling, for our children, you know, for our ability to surround them with the true, the good, the beautiful, right? So why not ourselves as the parent, the teacher, understand how important it is for us to also surround us with people that we know have traveled the journey, people who are traveling, who are like-minded, who are struggling, who are succeeding, and celebrate with each other. You see, the things we focus our efforts on, you know, with a proven plan and experienced mentors to guide us, will get that growth exponential. God's graces infuses that. And that is the very reason why I started the Thrive Support Group. Now, I also did the Catholic Homeschool Blueprint. And if you ever want more details about that, that's all, of course, certainly I'd be happy to share things with that. But what I really wanted you guys to know is that there is a path that I stumbled upon, you know, after coaching hundreds of families for many, many years. And it's a systematic path that if you really want to dive deeper a little bit, want more confidence, you can go through the blueprint. The blueprint also is foundational, or join the Thrive group. One of the things that's going to be happening, I'm very, very excited about this year, is that I've added some more mentors to the Thrive group. They'll be coming in. Here you see the beautiful faces of Mary Ellen Barrett, Jen McIntosh, Maureen Whitman, Bonnie Landry. There'll be more ladies as well. But, you know, like together, we have like maybe over 100 years of homeschool experience because every one of us has 20 plus years experience. And we're so happy to walk with you on this. This is different. You have a safe place to gather, to ask for support, to seek out your friends, mentors, and knock, knock, knock on that door to discovery and wonder. Because the key to launching your children, I mean, part of the reason why you're showing up here or you're watching this video is because you love your children just like I loved my children. And you want the confidence that you've done enough to launch them into the world, that you've done enough to give them the foundation of faith so that they themselves can take the baton and move forward in the world, serving the Lord with their gifts and talents. So the community exists. There are different levels, and I thought I'd put together this little chart here to just help you navigate what level of support you would want. There's always the main free community. It's on Mighty Networks. It's our private, safe space. There are no ads, no distractions. We've kept it purposely, no trolling, no data mining, just for us. It's a place to meet fellow homeschoolers. You can post your questions. You can meet people who live near you. You can tap into some of the free groups that exist there, like the group with superpowers, the group for unschoolers. And if you want a little bit more moving into just moving the needle further, you want to like hit reset on your homeschool, then the blueprint is the next level of help. And that is really working through 4 modules that help you to really focus and define how you view homeschooling, how you can reimagine it to really tailor it to your family. And then the next level is that consistent and a close-knit support group, and that's the Thrive group. And you'll see, so there's always going to be the free. I'm always going to do these free things too. We're going to be in there supporting you, but I also wanted to show you just we do part of that heart project for me was really getting you to make a huge radical change if you really want to reclaim, reset, blueprint. And if you want to have mentors and really feel confident, then the Thrive Support Group. So what's in Thrive, the nuts and bolts is that, we forget to fill up our well, but you will get it full through the Thrive Group. I know there's some Thrive members listening today. We'll talk in a minute about that. But basically, we have monthly teaching, little teachable moments like this with a Q&A. We dedicate the most popular thing, which we did today, which was awesome. We celebrate our wins. We gather on a Zoom call. We turn on the timer for 45 minutes to an hour, and we get stuff done. And I'm there in the chat being able to help you get unstuck. We will be adding, as I said, monthly mentor sessions. And now a new option too is weekly social time accountability that will be meeting on a weekly consistent basis. You have 24/7 access to exclusive videos on its own hub. And these are inspiring, practical talks, as well as to the introductory version of the blueprint, the Thrive, that gets you really foundation Thrive that comes with the Thrive Group. You join now. I'm doing a 14-day free trial. Try it for 14 days, 2 weeks. It's free, no risk. Cancel it at any point. Included is some bonuses, which are done for you, some templates, some of the things that most people feel like they have no time, right? And in fact, let's talk about that, also a book list that I put in there. So I'm going to be adding some more book reviews and things, some of our favorite things that we can talk about. But time is one of those things that we don't have a lot of, and time is very precious. We talked about that yesterday, and your time is just as equally precious. So, if you really want to get answers without going into that vortex of social media, the vortex of the internet, you really want to be with like-minded Catholic people, then I do encourage you to go into Thrive. The investment for Thrive, and as I said, it only opens up once a year. I didn't want you guys to miss that. So if you want more details, there's a list, but essentially it's $225, which essentially is like less than the cost of pizza night. I know pizzas around here are more than $19. I usually have to get like 2 to 3 pizzas. It's usually more than that. So if I'm willing to give up a pizza night once a month and I can get some consistent support, it's kind of a nice trade-off. So if you want, you can try it for a few months. The monthly cost is $29 a month, or $75 now. There's an option that you can try it out for 3 months, and that's $75. Again, 14 days free. We will be doing our Q&A session starting in September. We're going to have our mentor session with Jen McIntosh. She's our first one to come in. Remember, you have support. It's important. This is, again, I love Pope John Paul the Great. It is important that families attempt to build bonds of solidarity amongst themselves. This allows them to assist each other in the educational enterprise. I love this. Don't you love this? Parents are educated by other parents, and children by other children. Yes, one of the new things we'd like to add to is we have teen groups, our teen writers group. We're going to have a teen music group, a teen artist group, teen entrepreneurship group. And we're even thinking of having really little ones having story time. I know my dear friend Dominic would like to see that in the group as well. You see this? Yeah, don't forget. When we need to take care of our children, but isn't it true? We need to get our oxygen mask on first. And how often do we forget that? So I'm here to be with you. I will be supporting you in the free community, as well as bringing different cohorts through the blueprint and the ongoing year-round Thrive group. So if you want to join today, the door is closed. Wednesday next week, the 31st. I wanted to just, this is the website. It's catholichomeschool.online/thrive. That'll give you more of the details. There's the link after this. But without further ado, let's end this and get back to not sharing my screen anymore. Cancel. Okay. Anyway, so good. I see so many great comments in here. So thank you all. So any questions here, everybody? Wonderful. Okay, let's see. Successful homeschool is one in which the love of learning is evident, Maria says. The students would then initiate their own education as they get older and study topics that are innately interesting to them. The last piece would be that education isn't seen as a subject. And it's true. How often do we just compartmentalize our learning? Like, do we think about our learning in such a way that it's something separate? Why is school separate? It's really great. It's really, really wonderful. Good. Thank you. I see some of the members. Natalie again is here, joined us. Natalie I wish I could bring her on screen here. That's coming soon, but she will be spearheading that social, once a week social time, and the time that we have for accountability as well. So Miriam, I know it's a struggle. It is a struggle to decide to homeschool. And that's part of the reason why, I wanted to do this again, is to help you to understand it's not just lip service to say that there's support. It's not lip service to say that this is hard to do, but any good work that God calls us to do takes time. And it does take a commitment and an investment of time. I'd like to think of it in many ways of our sanctification, our purification. It really is truly an opportunity to surrender to God and to be able to entrust him with what our good intentions are for our family. Yes. And we do need to pray really hard. And the thing is, you're not alone in praying. We have Wednesdays, we do our rosary together. So love for you to be able to do that. I know it's mornings here, so that's evenings for you. Bring family, be able to bring all of that into the community would be wonderful, wonderful opportunity. So if anybody, I know we have some more members here. Let's see, Jackie joined us, and Cami. Hi, Cami, and Lynn, and Erin, and Sancha. I am so glad to see everybody here. I know, as I said, Jen is, there's quite a few here that are Thrive members. It has been such an honor to work with families, in the Thrive group. I'd love to see more of you join. As I said, I don't want you to miss the opportunity. And you may ask too, it's like, oh, why don't you just keep it open all the time? So there's a couple of reasons why we do that. And one is because, when you go to Facebook or you go on the internet and you type in your question, say, okay, what kind, my kid's struggling with spelling. What programs have you used? You're pretty much doing, it's like throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping it'll stick. That's an image. Or the other is throwing a whole handful of darts towards a dartboard and hoping that you hit center. Working with people who travel on the journey with you, that understand the fundamentals of what you're trying to do and are really getting to know you, get to know where you're from, getting to know the dynamics of your family. We're entrusting our time together. People that get you and have this connection with each other. This is where you're going to find fruitful answers. It's going to save you the aggravation, the time, wasted dollars, all of that. Because very often there is, it's easy to just get there and plop out some answers out in cyberspace. It's easy to kind of just type out things, but it's a lot harder when we're meeting in a Zoom call face to face, and we really are about building relationships with each other. And that makes the difference in homeschooling. Not everybody is blessed in a way to have a local group. I always think local, having one best buddy that you can reach for. For many years, I prayed for it. I did not. We were the family that took up a whole pew, and we were the family that homeschooled. It took until my oldest, my little kids, I should say, were already in high school before another homeschool family came into our parish. But they've been beautiful friends. In fact, one of their sons is getting married, and we went to their daughter's wedding. They're friends for life, and that's what happens here too. You'll be able to be growing together. So if anybody's got any questions, any burning questions about the Thrive group, about Blueprint, I put that comparison chart. I will also share the slides under the replay for this, so you can kind of see what are the different features. I've been getting questions about that. We just finished a Blueprint group that was so amazing. I'm so proud of the moms in that group. Yay, they made such, hi Allie, they made such a wonderful improvement. They feel more prepared than they ever have, and really have a beautiful, delightful plan. We're going to keep in touch the whole time, be able to, you have lifetime access when you get the Blueprint. And in the Thrive group, it's something you can use as much, as often. You can come in, you can go out, whenever you need it. So, but we do close the group, as I said, because it's intentional. It's about being intentional. And it is also a paid group because, for one, it helps with the time and the overhead of the team behind the scenes, but it also helps us to be more vested. We do pay attention to what we pay for. So reality there. I love that technology has given me the ability to connect with you. As I said, we'll get together in Rosary on Wednesday. Wednesday will be the last day. I'm going to pop all these videos here in the replay. You can binge watch them again. Send me messages, send out your questions, participate. 99% improvement comes by just showing up, giving and asking questions, and giving some solutions to really, really get to know each other. That's going to make all the difference in the world. Let us support each other, because we all know that the world is trying to tear apart families. It's a scary place, what's going on, and we can certainly get very depressed and angry and frustrated, and fear may set in. But God wants us to operate in love, because He is love. Love and truth is a person in Jesus Christ, and He's given us His beautiful, blessed mother and the saints that call us. And each one of us, including our children, have guardian angels. Always tap into their guardian angels. Pray to them. I can't begin to tell you what a beautiful journey it is. I do hope and pray for you all. Hope and pray that through your prayers with God, you will be able to know you are more than capable, because God has called you, God is with you, and you're not alone. Thank you, everybody. Take care. May God bless you abundantly.